welcome to another episode of Beyond the Black Rims. I'm Mars Girl.
I'm Josh Knight the First.
And this is Season 5, Episode 17?
Or Episode 111, if you're counting.
I hope I got the number right. I'm pretty sure I got the number right.
You got it right. I just tried to match inflection with you.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for being here. Glad to be here. Brought to you guys by our Patreon contributors over at patreon.com/MarsGirl. You guys make this show happen every week. Just got another video out for the Patreon contributors just earlier this evening. A review of what was just a VHS tape of an anime called The Adventures of the Little Prince, and I really didn't know what that was, but it turned out it was an anime that aired on Nickelodeon in the late 80s, and so I kind of went back and did all this research.
See, that was, I watched some, I guess they didn't exactly call it Nick Jr. right off the bat, but the early stuff that they would play on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. I don't remember that one.
No,
I remember David the Gnome, but I don't remember
this. And David the Gnome is not from Japan.
I'm just saying stuff that they aired around
Noozles, I think, stuck in my head
Noozles,
a lot
I
more
remember.
Than,
I remembered Noozles real hard, but I couldn't remember the name. That was the weird part about it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it for years and years and years until one day a mutual friend of ours and myself, were sitting and watching, I think it was just stuff off of Retro Junk. We were just going through things like, what was this? This looks familiar, and then we were watching, old toy commercials and cartoon intros of and it wasn't as easy to find these clips on YouTube at the time, and then I was like, Noozles! And suddenly, it was like a flood of memories.
Then you suddenly remembered all the little, they were koalas,
they were
right?
Koalas
the little pink and blue koala.
From another dimension.
Or planet or whatever it was.
Yeah, we got the story all wrong. Why? Because it was Saban, of all people, who localized Noozles, because it wasn't even remotely anywhere close to being called Noozles in Japan. I can't remember what it was called, but it wasn't called Noozles. In any case...
Super Bear Task Force or something like that.
No. In any case, so that video is up for Patreon contributors.
Sentai.
And, you guys will be able to see it publicly in another day or two.
But that wasn't the only thing you loaded this week.
Alright, we did load the Farewell Famikamen Rider commentary, and I was waiting until I had confirmation that I could actually remove monetization from that video, because ever since I joined Screenwave Media, that for a little while was difficult to just take monetization off of videos, but now that's easier. That video is now out. I think some of you would find some things that we had to say about the movie very, very interesting.
Like we've said from the beginning when we started the project, and even now, wanted to make sure we never made a dime off this thing. So that's why we had to wait until Caitlin was sure that we could not make money on this. So now that's open for you guys to see. You can go over to her YouTube page and check that out. Really, it's just all the audio of the movie itself is really dropped out, and you can hear us talk.
Yes.
Just some behind-the-scenes things, motivation for characters, little interesting tidbits, and things you may or may not have caught during the viewing of the movie.
And reasons why we did stuff that were influenced by Justin Juwario's original intentions for his original project. So I think you guys would find it very, very interesting.
Yeah. So what else is going on?
Well, this evening before I before we started the show, there was a reception here in San Antonio, just up the street at the local
I'm gonna get
college.
your hat.
Sure, go get my hat, whatever. So, oh wow, the lighting drastically changed to very, very yellow for a second there. But in any case, so there was a reception between
Bears!
the Japan America Society of San Antonio and a bunch of military personnel who had served
overseas
in Japan for any length of time, and it was to show respect for them, to show respect for the Consulate General of Japan who works out of Houston, and then San Antonio's the sister city of a city called Kumamoto, and the mascot of Kumamoto is Kumamon, and they were handing out these dorky little hats, these paper hats, and I can't figure out how the bill of this hat is supposed to work. I'm gonna rip this dang thing if I try to.
Well, maybe you did it too tight.
No, I've put it on the farthest back notch before.
Maybe your head's too big.
It's possible that my head's too big, so...
Yeah, because it's already ripping on the edge.
I know, so we're just gonna do it like this, alright?
Alright, yeah.
So this is... so this is Kumamon, right? And so he was there in full bear suit, and he was dancing, and it was hilarious, and he made a child cry. It was really, really funny.
You take a lot of enjoyment from children crying.
Well, especially when they're not meant to cry, it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's an adorable dancing bear, and this child cried. I'm done.
And a child cried.
I am done with this bear.
Let's see, what else did we do this week? Oh, we actually got to see part 2 of the Attack on Titan movies just earlier this week.
Yeah, we got you recorded a vlog, but I need to edit that for you.
Yeah, so that'll be out very shortly. Don't want to spoil too much. We'll talk more about that in the post-show if you guys want to. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is we got to see that, but I almost completely forgot until Nash brought it up on Twitter. This weekend, the Gem movie comes out.
Yeah, I'm not interested in seeing it. Not unless I can, like, not pay for it. Then that might be possible.
We might be able to have that arranged
Maybe.
for you.
Possibly, but I'm not going to see it, like, tomorrow.
No, but what...
Or over the weekend. I will see it not immediately on over
for my
the
own
weekend.
satisfaction, I want to see your rage come out from however they messed this thing up.
Well, from everything I'm hearing, it's precisely... exactly what we thought it was going to be, which is crap. So, like, I'm not gonna be surprised. I don't know how angry I can get when I know how bad it's going to be already.
Well, then the apathy towards it.
Oh, the apathy sounds pretty good, actually.
I want to see that.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk about what our show's actually going to be about.
Oh, yeah, we have a show
Because we've kind of talked for 7 minutes about all sorts of other crap, aside from...
Well, they're getting to know us.
Well, our first story of the evening, once we get past all of our follow-ups and junk, is going to be related to Back to the Future. Of course, yesterday was October 21st, 2015. 2015!
The day that Marty and Doc...
the future?
Well, the future is now the past.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk, of course, about how the day was celebrated, how nerds from all over the world came together to celebrate this important day in history that is now officially history.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah, our second story of the evening. So we've talked to you guys before about different things relating to Rurouni Kenshin.
Sometimes we've talked about musicals.
Yes, and tonight we're going to talk to you guys about the first official look at the cast of the Takarazuka rendition of Rurouni Kenshin. This is going to be a musical. We're going to tell you guys about the cast, what to expect from it, and there's apparently a new character.
And realize it's an all-women musical.
Yes.
Because that's what Takarazuka is, an all-women theater troupe. So...
And then the third story is going to be about...
Star Wars!
What's Star Wars?
Star Wars!
I don't know what that is.
Oh, man. I know we talk about Star Wars a lot, but come on, guys.
That trailer! Come on!
Come on,
that
guys.
Trailer.
This week
we're going to talk
was
about
a big deal.
the trailer. We're going to talk about the tickets, and we're going to talk about... You guys have seen the poster, and we're going to point it out, that big noticeable thing in the sky that's seemingly very, very dangerous.
If you guys don't want to hear about Star Wars, because I know some of you people exist, that's part of the reason why we saved it for last, so that you can kind of back out once we get to it.
Or join in.
But don't worry, we're actually not going to play I considered playing the trailer in the background.
We're not going to play the trailer.
This is the one time I'm not going to play the trailer in the background. So if you want to go hunt that down yourself or not see the trailer, then we're not going to show you. We're going to show you the poster, but we're not going to show you the trailer. So in any case, those are our three main stories, and we do have some follow-up stories to talk to you guys about before we get to those main plot points of the evening.
Yes.
Because, you know, we're
main talking points, not plot points.
We're a story-based web series, Josh.
How could you to my father? I got you. That's awesome.
I wanted to come up with a Roger Sasuke World Ninja quote to throw back at you, and I couldn't think of one fast enough.
You'll find a way to come up with one later.
It's okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's get into our follow-ups for the evening. So we'll start with the little bit of Marvel news that we've got. So they have confirmed that Peyton Reed is in fact coming back to direct Ant-Man sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that will be coming out on July 6th, 2018, so we're gonna have to wait a bit.
Okay, that's cool.
There's also supposed to be a new Jessica Jones trailer dropping tomorrow, but tomorrow isn't today, so we'll probably talk about that next week.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yes. And oddly enough, that's all the Marvel news we have. Alright, let's keep it moving.
Funny.
Right. Okay, so in anime news, so Ghost in the Shell, the not live action movie, is still under production right now. They're still at least forming the cast for that. On the anime side of things, there is quite literally a new movie titled Ghost in the Shell, the new movie, coming out next month.
If they make another movie, then that title is going to be very irrelevant.
Yeah, like that's...
That just seems like the dumbest
Because we had to look that up before the show started tonight. That is quite literally the translation from the Japanese. Shingeki Joban means new movie. Like, that's what the title is in both languages.
Whatever they want.
But yes, this is, of course, going off the more Arise continuity, so it's going to wrap up some plot points if you guys have been watching that. Arise is available on Netflix, so you guys can go check that out over there and then be all caught up. It's going to premiere in theaters on November 10th, 11th, and 16th.
Nice big old gap in between a couple of those days.
Well, I guess if you missed the first one, then you have a chance to catch the next two.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, there's a 4-day space in between two of those showtimes.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, well, whatever.
As opposed to, like...
I've got a lot of time to find a theater that's going to be showing it in your area.
But yeah, check local listings, Facebook, Fandango, wherever you want to go to find your tickets. They'll be available to you.
Yar.
Yes. Okay, in a little bit of Star Wars news, not related to what we're talking about in the big old cluster later. So we got to look at more character models from Star Wars Battlefront, and they revealed the Emperor, Leia, Han, full-on Boba Fett.
Oh, I didn't see the Boba Fett one.
Yeah, and they all look hella screen accurate.
Yeah. They looked really impressive. I was a little scared of the Emperor. I'm kind of trying to picture, like, is the Emperor going to be usable on Hoth? Like, is he?
That would be funny.
It would be funny because he's gonna be hopping around like a douchebag.
Well, no, is he gonna hop, or I just imagine him being
like walking really slowly?
Yeah, walking really slowly. Like, screw whatever you told me in Revenge of the Sith. I want the Emperor that's barely moving. Like, he's not. He's basically Professor X. He's just in a hover chair. Good. Like, that's all you're doing, playing as the Emperor, and some Force lightning. Yeah. But yes, definitely looking forward to that when it becomes available later on this year.
Yes.
In interesting Kojima news, so there are two conflicting reports right now.
Right.
Relating to, of course, Hideo Kojima, who at this point may or may not be working for Konami.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Okay, so the New Yorker reported that as of October 9th, Kojima was no longer employed at Konami.
Uh-huh.
Konami then came out with a press statement saying Konami still has him employed, he's just on an extended vacation.
Yeah, until his contract runs out and then he's fired.
Yeah, like...
That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Like, I see through the BS here. Like, come on. Like, this is the most roundabout way of saying somebody's fired as at all possible.
They're trying to make themselves look as good as they possibly can for as long as they possibly can. And then eventually the crap's gonna hit the fan, and they have to just deal with the fact that they made a really stupid set of decisions over this past year. Like, at some point, Konami, you have to face the music and just deal with it. Or fix it. One of the two.
Fix it. You're not gonna fix it. I want you to fix it, but you're not gonna do it.
It would be nice. I did love you once, Konami. I really did, and then you broke my heart.
You broke all our hearts.
Sorry.
And we will never forgive you for what could have been. I'm still mad.
Gosh.
Silent Hill. Okay, alright, fine. Moving on to our favorite section. We're doing this until March. Not Quite Justice League.
Yeah,
alright, there we go. So, Not Quite Justice League news. Let's get to it. So, Total Film talked to two of the cast members, talked to Michael Shannon and to Amy Adams about the movie. Michael Shannon has now gone on record as saying, I just say stuff in relation to the thing about the flippers that he said a while back. But now he's saying he's more of a Jor-El-ish role this time, whereas he's just kind of a digital spirit this time.
That's weird.
Which is weird. Like, I don't know when they would have had time to copy him. Like, that's kind of weird. And Amy Adams, at the least, confirmed that she does have a scene with both Batman and Superman, and that's as much as she can say until the press junkets.
Okay.
So there's that. In addition to that, next month, come November, and for anybody who has Batman Arkham Knight and has the season pass, next month the Batman v Superman Batsuit and Batmobile will be available to download in-game.
Oh boy!
Yes.
Not my favorite suits or Batmobiles.
It could be worse. Like, that's the least of my problems. And actually, in relation to the Batsuit, we have a new picture that was released from Total Film. You can see here of... That's Ben Affleck in suit as Batman.
I don't know how much I can blow it up right now.
Well, he's looking more Batman-ish than before. You know, obviously here he's taken down a criminal and has left him unconscious, so that's good.
Yeah, that's a thing that Batman does?
Yes, so good. But in addition to that, Zack Snyder was interviewed about the movie, and all he did was gush about Batman.
So,
in this movie.
Do we care about Superman and Batman vs. Superman anymore?
Well, we can't care, like, even if you wanted to, it seems, you can't care because Snyder has so much focus on Batman. Like, I've hardly heard him say anything about Superman in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So...
But then again, realize he's already established who Superman is, kind of.
Kinda, sorta. And
in a really crappy way, but, like, he's done it already, but he hasn't established who his Batman is.
Now, he's saying, though, that at least as far as the suit is concerned, he is visually established in his mind, this is the Batman that I wanted to portray. And again, you know, he's all up on The Dark Knight Returns as his inspiration for this, and it's like, yeah, we knew that. Like, you're drooling it all the time. Like, don't bother repeating that. We know.
Yes.
Yes, so we'll keep an eye on that for as long as we can.
Oh, boy.
Until something new happens. Let's see, moving on to... what do we got next? Oh, yes, for fans of Kyoryu Sentai Zoo Rangers, so it was just revealed last night that a premium set of medals as well as the Dino Buckler will be made available come March.
So it's a lot like our Legacy Morpher.
Actually, I looked into that. It is exactly the same mold as the Legacy Morpher. So if you get these coins... they fit in the Legacy Morpher, and the extra one that they have is the one that has all 5 dinosaurs, or guardian beasts, however you want to say it, on the coin, which they didn't necessarily release over here.
But they also have the crystals used to pilot the... Daijujin, the Zords, which was not something that our boxes contained.
No, we did not get that over here as far as a legacy item.
Yeah.
So, that will be available, at least the coins will be available in March for about, give or take, 50 US.
Well, it seemed like the whole package that came with the Dino Buckler, the Crystal, and just the Tyrannosaur coin was a little less than $100.
Yes.
So,
but if strictly speaking about the coins, that's about 50. You want the deluxe, you're going to have to pay a little more. But when you think about it, the way things look on eBay, that's about comparable to just getting a Legacy Morpher right now. So be on the lookout for that. In American Ranger news, so we have some casting, more casting for the Power Rangers reboot movie. Just today, they announced actor Ludi Lin, an Asian actor, will be playing the Black Ranger.
See, here's something I'm noticing. They keep saying the Black Ranger, the Pink Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, but they're actually not saying the names.
They said before with the character types that they're still named Jason, Trini, Zach, Billy, and Kimberly.
Okay.
But as far as the announcements have gone, no, they don't say is playing Jason, they're just saying the color.
Yeah.
And in addition to him, earlier this week, Dacre Montgomery was cast as the Red Ranger. So now we have 3 of the 5 core Rangers casted.
Yes.
Now we're just waiting for the casting of the Yellow Ranger and the Blue Ranger.
And it just, like, it looks like they're doing the same thing they've been doing for the last few years now, and they're not picking actors, they're picking, like, models.
Admittedly, they're not bad looking. But
that's the problem is I'm going to need to see proof of their acting capabilities. I know that sounds really mean. But I also know Saban.
Well, see, the thing about it is I can't judge them any better than that, because even in Super Sentai, when somebody gets cast usually into a Super Sentai, or even here with Power Rangers, generally they don't have that much acting experience.
That's what I'm telling you. Probe. Okay, it's an inside joke. I'm sorry. Keep moving.
Moving on. Okay, so to other Tokusatsu news. We have a picture now of the movie war that's going to be taking place this December between Ghost and Drive, which is actually going to be a collaborative movie instead of the 3-part design. Here you'll see Kamen Rider Drive in his new Proto-Zero form. Part of the plot will involve, unfortunately, one of my least favorite tropes outside of Den-O, time travel.
Boo!
Yeah. Alright, you can shrink that. But yes, the trailer's out now. It just debuted this weekend with Superhero Time. If you go ahead and order now, in Japan you get a little blow-up ghost belt and some little magnetic figures of Ghost and Drive. In other Kamen Rider Drive news, the Kamen Rider Chaser Saga movie has confirmed that pretty much the whole of the cast, and that it's not really a surprise, has come back for the filming of it. So just about everybody's got a part. You know, the Special Department for Investigations, Heart, Brain, they're all back. So that's kind of a no-brainer. Not trying to make a pun, but they're all back. We can expect everybody when this movie comes out in March.
Yay!
And as going back to other things, we brought this up last week, talking about it before it happened. Now we can actually say that it did happen. So Yoshi Sudarso did in fact show up for the first 30 seconds of this past episode of Shuriken Sentai Ninja. And he only had one line, really. He's getting defended by Ninja as the monsters are attacking at the beginning of the episode. And, you know, since Ninja is the only ranger who really speaks English, or that's kind of his trope, next to Star Ninja, he tells him, "Get away," in a very Japanese accent, and he's
okay, thank you.
And then he runs off. But still, that confirms, that makes him the first Power Ranger actor to show up in a Super Sentai series. And he went online talking about his experience filming this episode, and really, this gives me hope that in the future more little crossovers like this can happen, and this will help bolster fans of both communities, both of Super Sentai, Tokusatsu, and Power Rangers, to be more collaborative and understand, hey, you're allowed to like both.
Yeah.
We don't need elitism here.
I still think that, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm pretty positive that the only reason that Yoshi was able to show up in Ninja was because he already was a super fan, and then he just went over there and he like bugged the right people, like, hey, can I be in your show? Can I be in it? Will you let me in it? Even for just a second, man. Just let me in. Come on, it's gonna be awesome.
Do you blame him?
No, I don't blame him. I'm just saying that totally was not Saban and Toei collaborating in order to allow him this opportunity. He just bugged the right people.
Yeah,
I promise you.
No, he talked to the right people and it happened.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta go in there.
I'm not saying that's not cool. I am just saying that doesn't mean that Saban and Toei are collaborating to do better and awesome things. I think the right people need to be involved in order to make
I get
awesome
that.
things happen.
But if look at it this way, if you had to go through Saban, nothing was going to happen. Because Saban likes to pretend Super Sentai doesn't exist. Yoshi was like, you know what? I'm a fan. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do it. Okay, thank you. It's done. He did it. Awesome. Props to you, man.
All right.
You're awesome. All right, that's enough for the follow-ups. Let's get to our actual stories.
All right, so what was the first one?
The future.
The future?
Yesterday.
This, unfortunately, it's the first movie. There were...
But really, the focus is on Back to the Future 2. Specifically, 4:29 p.m. in Hill Valley, California, on the date October 21st, 2015.
Which is now come and gone, and future is different.
A little different.
This is an alternate timeline, 2015. Does anybody actually say 2015? I think we all...
Some people do.
I think we all predicted we would be saying 2015, and then, like, colloquially, we kind of slipped into 2015 because we were saying 1990s, 1980s, so, like, just kind of...
That's besides the point.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying, just it's besides the point.
Well, I'm saying that because he says in the movie, 2015, you mean we're in the future? And freaks out. And so yesterday was a big deal for tons and tons of people who just wanted to celebrate, like, hey, 30 years have passed, this is pretty friggin' incredible.
Like, the future is now, is basically the idea that everybody had, because as far as Facebook is concerned, I've been RSVP'd to the day Marty and Doc show up in the future for about a year. I've
been RSVP'd for a couple, like, somebody got really excited a few years ago and made, like, 2 or 3 of these different events, and I RSVP'd to all of them, like, 3 years ago, and have been sitting and waiting on this day.
And then it got there, and everybody's like, yeah, future, woo!
You're all dressed like this, and now what am I gonna do? I'm never gonna dress like this ever again, and then...
Well, you still could if you want.
You could.
But, you know, it's the cultural impact of the movie. You know, back when it came out, that was their stylized version of what the future was going to look like, what it would have to offer. And you have any number of online news sources who made their own list of, well, how many things did they get right as far as how 2015 would end up looking. Such as 3D movies being a huge thing. Like, we don't have that particular Jaws movie, but we have a lot of 3D movies.
Didn't they make a 3D Jaws movie, though?
Well, Jaws 3D, but that was a terrible movie.
Yeah, but they made it, so we got halfway there.
Okay, well, we'll give it that.
All right,
people have been working on the hoverboards.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of sort of exist. They float like this far off the ground, and you have to be on a very specific surface to do it, but
see, that's the thing. That's like art imitating life, or really art imitating art, because it's Back to the Future 2.
It only exists because we wanted it so bad because of Back to the Future 2.
Exactly.
That's the only reason why it exists. Video conference technology.
Yeah, basically they called Skype. Yeah. I mean, not called Skype, they predicted Skype, that's what I meant.
Yeah, not even that, like, business meetings for a while were having video conferencing before Skype was becoming really major. So, like, this was happening kind of a while back, and now it's become very, very normalized.
And then,
hell, I'm talking to you live right now. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, technically, it's the same idea.
I'm not looking at you. I mean, I'm looking at you, but you forget it. Just
yeah. Point being, and I think back to it. I think a couple of people missed this with some advances towards motion technology. We kind of gave life to Elijah Wood's little line of, "You have to use your hands? That's a baby's toy."
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we kind of started developing hands-free technology for games.
Yeah, and wearable technology, both for wrists and for eyes, and some people apparently in their shoes.
Yes, specifically relating to the shoes. Nike gave Michael J. Fox the very first off-the-line pair of self-lacing shoes.
So they do exist now, kind of, but not for public consumption.
Not till next year.
Not until next year, but apparently, like, there's a button, you stick your foot in, you press the button, and it goes, and they tighten, and then you push another button, and they loosen. It's like, that's as close as you're gonna get, but it's pretty accurate.
Yes, and sneakerheads have been after, these shoes, replicas of the shoes for years, but now the actual official Nike shoes will go on sale next year, and as far as we're understanding here, the proceeds for the shoes actually go towards Parkinson's research. So, that's another reason to get them, other than the fact that they're friggin' self-lacing shoes from the future.
Yeah. So you remember, like, also, man, Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox must have been so busy prepping for every single last little thing that
because they had, what was it, the Toyota commercials?
The Toyota Mirai, mind you.
Mirai being the Japanese word for future.
I see what you did there, Toyota. That's so funny.
Right. But yes, they were promoting that particular new vehicle in several different online ads for Toyota, as well as showing up on different news outlets, and of course the major one being Jimmy Kimmel Live just yesterday as Marty and Doc in full costume from the first movie, and that was awesome!
Yep.
So awesome.
And they agreed that this version of 2015 really sucked, and then they just wanted to go home.
Yeah, they were just kind of going back and forth with how technology didn't really go the way they wanted it.
Live up to their expectations. Fax machines, the whole big focus on fax machines, they're still around. In fact, I have to call different businesses at my day job, and sometimes they ask me to send a fax. So they're still, like, in this fax day and age, and we used to fax, but, like, our fax machine broke, and we're like, come on, guys, can we just send you an email instead of a fax? Like, that would be so much more preferable to using a fax machine. But at the same time, like, and then that footage of Michael J. Fox putting on the Nike shoes for the first time, like, I just can't imagine, so busy, or Christopher Lloyd filming in the DeLorean to tell everybody, all right, we've reached this date, and no, it's not quite exactly as we predicted it, but that's because your future hasn't been written yet. You make your own future, so make it a good one, blah,
yes.
blah, quoting himself,
You know, sending a very positive message, because the thing about it is, I don't know, with the exception of Star Wars, which can in some ways be divisive, I don't know anybody who hates Back to the Future. No. I really don't. More or less, it's accepted across cultures as, this is an amazing movie, this is an amazing piece of media.
My parents thought Back to the Future 2 was offensive. They didn't want me to watch it.
Whatever.
I know, it was really, really dumb. But recently my dad rewatched the movies, and he was like, oh, there were some parts I didn't really like about it, but, I guess it was a pretty good movie. Like, he finally had to accept that it was not a bad film.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad.
Yes.
Yay. We got another one.
Yeah. See, like, your dad was going to be the one person who didn't like Back to the Future, and eventually was like, no, it's not bad.
He does a good impression of my dad,
That's actually how her dad sounds.
That sounds like, well, that could be anybody, but that's my dad.
Yeah.
I promise.
And then in addition to all this, thankfully, thanks to you guys on Twitter that helped me out with that last night, I just found that this week in particular, to line up with all of this, the Back to the Future animated series is now on DVD.
Yes!
So you can get that over on Amazon for like $40 for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to wait a week, but I do want it, because I remember being there every Saturday morning. It was on CBS. They have Marty and then Doc Brown and his two kids, Jules and Vern, and they just kind of got into stuff. And then at the end, they would have a little live-action segment with Christopher Lloyd.
Yes, that was my favorite part, of course.
Yes. And I remember, do you remember they had, in addition to the animated series, they had a McDonald's Happy Meal?
I remember the Happy Meal,
and I had the DeLorean, and I played with that thing all the friggin', just as a kid. Because that's what you do. When you have a DeLorean, you treat it like an airplane because it flies.
And when you have the 8.6 from Initial D, you... There's just certain things you do with certain cars. In the DeLorean, you go...
Yeah. And see, like, the thing about it is, like... That's the thing about it, too. We were talking about that the other day before this all happened, was the music was so... It's an earworm. Everybody knows.
John Williams.
Freaking John Williams, man. Did awesome work. And we'll talk more about that later. But yes, we got to get to our other stories, but definitely we're all happy that we're here in the future. We've been given the charge by Doc Brown to make it a good one, so let's do that.
Yes.
If you haven't already purchased the trilogy, the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. Back to the Future. All right.
All right. Woo.
Yes. So moving on to our second story, which has to do with Rurouni Kenshin by way of Takarazuka.
So what you're looking at is the poster, of course, for the upcoming theatrical musical performance of Rurouni Kenshin. So what is Takarazuka, I think I should explain. Well, like I said earlier in the episode tonight, Takarazuka is a musical review, a musical theater troupe. And it's an all-female cast. And they've done just tons and tons and tons of stuff over decades, I think probably their most famous one among nerds, they did 2 different sets of Phoenix Wright musicals.
Yes.
And what's kind of funny about that is that they're casting... the performance they put on, because realize our localization of Phoenix Wright, we renamed, like, the main character's name in Japanese is Naruhodo, which is like,
Naruhodo.
I see. Like, it's a pun in Japanese. And
like, their names in Japanese are puns just like our names over here
so
are
they
puns.
localized the whole game to be a bunch of puns. But they used the American names for everybody in those musicals. So rather than calling him Naruhodo, they called him Phoenix. Very, very interesting, just to give you kind of insight on what... They've done stage musical performances of, like, classic Hollywood movies. Really, really interesting.
Yes, but they're highly professional, highly trained actresses. They're absolutely worth their salt. Their performances are amazing. We've seen a few of them online. They're amazing. If you get the chance, go on YouTube, check them out.
Yes.
Point being, they have this Rurouni Kenshin performance that they're going to have between February 5th to March 14th of next year and then it will open in their particular... They have their own theater, and that will open on April 1st through May 8th.
I would love the opportunity to see something.
Oh,
like
absolutely!
This.
Like if we had the chance to replan our trip to Japan, I would have absolutely put down the money to go see this thing. Because now, when you think about it, we've already got a Kenshin to compare it to as far as live action is concerned, thanks to the 3 Rurouni Kenshin films with Takarazuka starring as Kenshin. Here, though, with a fully female cast, and the thing you have to understand about Takarazuka is they do musicals, and they don't change everybody to a female. They have females who are very good at playing male roles, as you see here. The actress there playing Kenshin is Dai... Wait, no, that's Sanosuke. Darn, I just had it a second ago. Well, until I can pull that up. The actress that you see here playing Kenshin is the head male actress that they have in the troupe.
Pretty sure I've seen her in a number of other
And if you just move over to the side for a second, the actress they have there playing Kaoru, she's the lead female actress that they have. Like, she's the best at playing female roles.
Like, I know this is clearly a very effeminate-looking Kenshin. However,
actually...
for a... It's clearly a woman playing it. For a woman playing him, she looks rather masculine.
Well, see, the thing about it is...
And she looks like she fits.
The reason it works is because Kenshin always has been depicted as having a very soft face, and in some cases a little effeminate looking, but of course has...
Either way, she has a relatively strong chin, so I feel like for the rest of the face being very feminine, she's got a good chin for the part. If you understand my meaning.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and read you guys off the cast list here. So Kenshin is being played by Seina Sagiri. Kaoru is being played by Miyu Sakihi. Sano is being played by Hosho Dai. Megumi is being played by Seishiro Daigo. Saito is being played by Sakina Ayakaze. And Aoshi, my favorite character, is being played by Kanato Tsukishiro. So these are your actresses playing these roles. Now, some people had a problem with the live-action movie saying, well, it's pretty good, but the costumes weren't exactly accurate to what I remember.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you don't have a problem with these guys, because they are spot on.
Anime accurate.
Anime, manga accurate. Like, I'm looking at some pictures that were loaded onto Crunchyroll. Now, I know somebody in the comments is saying, oh, that Sano's cow killer isn't nearly big enough. No, when you look at it, it's about the same dimensions as the one in the live action, which realistically, that's about as big as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be nearly as, like, Guts' berserker sword wide.
I like how you can see that Sano is wearing a shirt underneath his coat.
Yeah, but you do what you have to.
Yeah. Either way, they look fantastic. I'm really curious about these musical numbers, though, because adding musical numbers to Phoenix Wright kind of blew my mind.
Well, because some of the music...
very Broadway kind of show tunes sort of stuff, you know? And by the time... At the end of every Takarazuka performance, you know, they finished the story, they wave their goodbye. They say goodbye like 4 or 5 times. It's insane. And then... they bust out the main characters dressed in hugely sequined garments that make no sense.
See, that's actually something I want to see. I want to see full sequin Kenshin. I want to see that. I want to see full sequin pimp coat Aoshi there on stage. And I want to see how ridiculous Saito looks with all sequins. Like, that's going to be amazing.
There's crazy sequins at the end of this performance. I promise you it'll exist because Takarazuka does it.
They have a habit of that. Now, the thing about it is, they are very disciplined. So when it comes to the sword play, which is, of course, is a major part of what the story of Kenshin is, I absolutely believe they're going to nail it, because it's not going to be the same as how they did it in the live-action movie, because that, of course, you can work around cameras, you can cheat angles, things like that, but when you're dealing with stage combat, specifically sword stage combat, that's a whole different ballgame. You have to make sure the audience believes it from one angle, but also be wary of people in the wings who can kind of see over, like, no, that didn't connect. No, you don't have to worry about these guys, or these ladies, I should say. They are absolutely professionals at what they do. I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that this is going to be anything less than an amazing show.
Exactly.
And as far as I'm aware, there's actually a new character that they've written in for the show. I can't confirm one way or the other whether or not that's a good guy or a bad guy right now. Yeah, like, I'm looking at these other promotional shots that they've taken of Kaoru and Kenshin together. That looks like a dude to me.
Yeah.
Like, that photo might not do it justice.
It looks like Gact, who I think is an effeminate dude, but there you go.
That's exactly what you're shooting for.
Yeah.
And these guys... I say guys colloquially.
Yes, I understand that.
Like,
I understand that. I hope you guys
blows
understand.
my mind how accurate they got.
And they do it every time.
Yes.
Every time they do a show, you guys should see the Phoenix Wright ones, because they're... Like, I never thought we would see something so and they use music. Let's see if they use music from the anime, because the Phoenix Wright stage show, you remember, they used fully orchestrated music pulled directly from the games. It was amazing.
Now, as far as Phoenix Wright is concerned, that live-action adaptation, not all of the music got adapted into full orchestration. Specifically, you know, you can hear that doom 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 doom. That got fully orchestrated, but when they do it for the musical, it's more of a realistic version, not necessarily full orchestration, but understandable, like piano dun 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 dun, and it sounds natural, like, oh yeah, this is a soundtrack for a show.
For that reason, I'm really wondering, are they going to lift some of the soundtrack from the TV series, you know?
I fully believe they will. And as far as I'm aware, the author, Nobuhiro Watsuki, has fully signed off on this.
Awesome.
So, like, this has the original author's blessing. Like, yes, absolutely, go ahead and do this. I can't wait to see it. So, if you guys have the chance, because we don't right this second, go ahead and get out there, go to Tokyo between those dates that I mentioned, and check this thing out, because... oh my god, it's amazing.
Alright.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Bye, Takarazuka.
And that's it. That's our show. Thanks for coming out, guys.
So, we warned you guys, we're going to be talking about Star Wars. If you don't want to hear us talk about Star Wars, then, like, mute us for the next 15-ish minutes, you know, because...
it's Star Wars! Oh my god! Okay.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh jeez! Oh my god!
Oh man!
Okay, like... whew. Okay, where do we start? Okay, alright. Oh my god, it's Star Wars! Okay, so here's the skinny of it. Alright, we'll try and go in chronological order here. First, this past Sunday, this image that you're looking at behind our heads was officially released, the last official poster for Star Wars The Force Awakens, which of course comes out December 18th.
Kind of the 17th, because, like, we got our tickets.
We'll get to that. And this was the prelude to the full final trailer that was going to debut on Monday Night Football.
And realized they were leaking all these little bitty,
like 5-second clips online, you know, getting people hungry for this thing. And the hunger was real.
Yeah, it was real.
Because, you know, when you gave people this photo here, you look at the way
it's a painting! It's a painting!
Dang
Josh.
Yeah.
No! It's, like, legit. Like, we found out.
Oh, we did?
It's painting.
Oh. That's an awesome painting.
Oh my god.
Okay, so, you know, just looking at this, you could ascertain so much new information from the story. Specifically, this thing behind Kaylin's head, which... most people are calling the next Death Star, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a Death Star.
Well, it turns out it's Star Killer Base. Like, realize everything we're parroting back is all stuff that was confirmed.
Right.
We are not going to say anything that is leaked. You know.
Yeah, we ourselves are actually
Disney and Lucasfilm did not already say themselves.
We are actually ourselves staying away from any sort of leaks. Or any websites that are big on leaks, because we actually want to be surprised when we go into the theaters.
Yeah,
we want to know, alright, Abrams, we trust you, we want to know what you did, but we're gonna wait.
Because I am hungry for info, you know, but I don't want to ruin it for myself. Yeah. So, all we're discussing is the stuff that we know thanks to Disney and Lucasfilm.
Yes.
So, yes, this whole, if Star Killer Base is an entire ice planet that has been converted by the First Order into a star-killing death ball of hurt.
Yes.
And pain and lasers, I guess. Like, it's a whole planet.
Now,
and, oh my god, you can come up with so many ideas of, oh geez, oh god, oh man, like, is
oh god, oh man, oh god, oh man.
How long is it going to last? How long is it going to actually, you know, be part of this trilogy?
Please tell me if they came up with this idea, they didn't leave the exhaust port open this time.
Yeah.
you know, you're worried about that sort of thing. But of course, this was all leading up to two things. Of course, the trailer reveal on Monday Night Football and the official release of pre-sale tickets for The Force Awakens.
Which both kind of came in conjunction with one another.
So, as far as tickets are concerned, the tickets supposedly were supposed to go on sale around the same time that the trailer did. That was not the case. A lot of different online sites, a lot of theater chains kind of sort of jumped the gun, apparently, and started selling as early as 7 p.m. And in a lot of cases, some people got their tickets a lot earlier. This made a lot of people salty. And as a whole, as has been the story, multiple ticket-selling websites completely crashed.
So, like, let's kind of tell our story and then go back to what the end result of the night as far as ticket sales were like.
Right. So we live here in Texas, and of course one of the major chains we have around here, and it's now branching out across the country, is the Alamo Drafthouse, which is an awesome place to go watch movies.
Fantastic, so fun. If you guys
get the chance,
go.
go.
If you get one in your area, go.
It's an experience. A point being, the Alamo Drafthouse was where we chose to go see The Force Awakens, and we were looking for the earliest showing that they have on the 17th, you know, because now we deal in an age where you can see the movie the day before.
Yeah.
And we kind of figured amongst ourselves, you know, because we have a large group that we pooled money from.
Grand total of 10 people.
10 people.
We were those a-holes that needed to buy 10 tickets all at the same time.
Well, yeah, because 10 people wanted to make sure they got in to see Star Wars.
And go in with a big group of people they like to be with to appreciate Star Wars. Yeah. Like, that just makes sense to me.
And you think about it, in this age that we live in, yeah, a lot of people are going to try the online route. But the thing about it is you kind of figure, well, that's going to be a lot of traffic all at the same time. Like, we just kind of knew.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did. But we had the option. We found that tickets were also going to be on sale at the actual box office there at the Drafthouse. So while Kaylin stayed here, she checked the Drafthouse website. I went down to the box office to wait for the tickets to go on sale about 30 minutes ahead of what I thought the time was that I heard was when they were going to go on sale.
Yeah.
And I was not the first one there. There was a line that had formed with, I kid you not, a 501st representative being the #1 guy in line. Like, you figure.
It makes sense.
You absolutely figure.
Let him have it. He's 501st.
And it was, like...
Wait, I don't understand. Because we got a friend in the 501st, and he's like, oh, we're going to be down at the Palladium. And what's this 501st dude doing down at the Drafthouse then? Aren't you going to go hang out with your 501st
Yeah, see,
buddies?
that's what I was wondering
That didn't make sense.
But, you know, whatever. That guy was there. That's irrelevant. Point being, the atmosphere there was very, very tense. Because it was kind of not too far off from a Mexican standoff, because you had a bunch of nerds there just kind of looking at their phones continually, looking around to see who else got in the line, look back down, look up at the clock, look over at the screen.
I could overhear on your conversation on the phone, some of them were like, hey, tell somebody to put the game on. Like, I don't want to watch it, but, like, I need...
Yeah, see, that's the thing. The Drafthouse has a bar there that, you know, of course, plays whatever they want on TV, and they had, like, Family Guy reruns on, and the nerds in line, myself included, had to tell them, hey, can you put it on ESPN? We want to watch Star Wars. And we had to be the ones to get them to change it to the game. And we're all there, looking at our phones, looking at them, looking over at the game, like, oh, has it happened yet?
And I've got, here at home, I've got my Alamo Drafthouse ticketing system on an auto refresh. That tab was on auto refresh.
It's kind of like a war situation because, you know, other guys there in line were like, hey, such and such theater already went on sale. Dang it! Oh, okay, who else went on sale? Oh, this theater went on sale. Dang it, I'm trying on my phone. Like, people were trying in line to get tickets from other theaters as they were going online, and for a brief moment, you could get through on the Drafthouse website.
Yeah, because I called Josh in the middle of it, and I'm like, okay, Josh, don't get too excited, don't panic. I just managed to get in on the website, so I'm going to start trying to buy it's going really, really slow, but then you were saying, oh, everybody else around me figured it out.
Yeah, like, they were on it. They had auto refresh as well. They're like, oh no, I can't get in, the site's locking me out, which it was, you know, the site was failing for a lot of people, and then without warning, after about, I want to say about 10 minutes of, you know, is the phone working? No, is yours working? No. Okay, you guys can buy tickets now. Oh! And then, you know, we rush up there, and I described this to Kaylin and my brother about this. You guys know that scene in Independence Day when they're taking on, you know, the first wave of aliens, and you have that little grid with all the different fighter jets on there, and you see them blinking out as they're being taken out by the aliens. That's exactly what I was looking at when I was looking at the screen, because they show you the screen, okay, pick which seats you want. And I'm like, okay, I want the... And before I could point to seats, I could see them blinking out as
because people online were managing to get through somehow, interestingly enough, because I couldn't.
Somebody was.
I tried from 2 different computers, and I couldn't do it.
And it was tense. It was really tense. Like, I had to pick between 3 rows. Like, that... No, because... It's kind of tough trying to get 10 seats all together at the same time. And finally, I did manage to get them, got out of there, and we were able to get home in time to watch the actual trailer.
Yes.
So that trailer, oh my god. Okay, so, like, the cinematography, alright? Let's talk cinematography for a second.
This is gonna be really interesting because I think you'll be able to compare all 3 trilogies once we get to that point and be like, man, the cinematography is drastically different amongst each of the 3 trilogies.
Yes.
Just from this trailer alone, you can see fantastically different cinematography.
Yes. Like, these opening scenes of Rey in what we believe is the downed, for many, many years, Star Destroyer, just paints such a picture there.
Yeah.
You know, and of course... Like we've shown here on the poster, and also in the editing of the trailer, Rey is of major importance in this movie.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're looking at this, everybody's faces look kind of on the same level. But if you were looking at, say, just a regular poster, Rey clearly is in the forefront, and she was in the forefront of the last poster too. And I'm swearing to you up and down like she's the most important lead character, and then this trailer just further solidified that in my heart, like, oh my god, the lead is this woman. That's amazing. And then the second following lead role is this black character. These are important. I need you guys to realize this is
Finn.
Yeah. A woman is a lead, following lead is a black character, and then a very important fighter pilot is Hispanic. Like, these are really big deal, important things, and you'll see that hashtag going around that may or may not have actually been trolling, all about, you know, white supremacists trying to take back Star Wars. Screw this is incredible.
Yes,
this is fantastic.
This is what fans wanted, and we're responding to this in such a positive way. But you know, let's go ahead, you know, bump that noise.
Exactly.
You know, let's focus on the story here. So, you know, clearly we see Kylo Ren over here. He's on a mission of some kind, you know, talking all this like, I will finish what you started. And it's like, who are you talking to? Are you talking to Vader?
Are talking about Vader, or we don't actually know. And I'm okay with that. You do see eventually Han Solo show up.
Now, you see, talk about character development just from little bits of things. You
and
know,
maybe you've seen these images
floating around on, like, Tumblr or Facebook. You know, you take the quote from Han in the first movie of...
in A New Hope, yeah.
Or, yeah, I don't believe in any of this nonsense, no
mystical energy field that controls my destiny.
You know, you go from that to Old Man Han, who's seen some stuff being like, it's all true.
It's true, all of it.
The Force,
the light,
the dark side, the Jedi, all of it. Like, this guy believes now. He's seen some stuff, and he knows better. Like, that shows an amazing... that shows that there's got to be some sort of an arc that they're going to describe to us from all these years. And on top of that, the biggest thing that I can see is Han and Leia on screen together. Like... wait, did we freeze?
It's looking like some people are freezing, but not necessarily everybody's freezing, and I don't know necessarily what to do about that. I'm gonna try and refresh my page and see if it's still happening to me. Okay, one person said that we're cool. Well, let's just keep going, because some people are responding and some people aren't.
Han and Leia on screen together.
Yes. Why does that tug at my heartstrings as much as it does? You know?
A major win for OTP, says Tumblr, because, like...
because here's the thing. I don't necessarily believe that the two of them have remained... like, together.
They didn't get happily ever after, but they still mean something.
Or perhaps there was a happily ever after, but it didn't happen the way we thought it did, like, boom, immediately after Return of the Jedi, you know?
Right.
But they're still important, like, no, this really has meant something over all of these years, and that to me just feels really, really important.
Yes.
We see shots of Han Solo leading Finn and Rey up to a building that's covered in flags. Did you see the report that people, like, went ahead and analyzed all of these different flags?
Yeah, you can see a Mandalorian flag.
One, you can see a Mandalorian flag. Two, you remember when we were going back over Phantom Menace? Yeah, a ton of those pod racer flags are, in fact, hung from up there, and then there's stuff that's littered throughout the Clone Wars TV series that's hung up there too. Like, it's all shout-outs to previous things. I think that's
that shows you right there, these guys did their homework.
I don't know whether it actually means something or not, or if it's just like, yes, we paid attention, let's just litter this building, whatever it happens to be, with flags. I'm a little... I feel like I want to tell you guys what I think that building is, but I'm not necessarily...
You want to save it?
I'm not necessarily sure that I should, because I've also been reading supplemental material. You know, all those novels that say...
the official novels that have come out.
Journey to the Force Awakens.
Right.
And they're official, and they have little tidbits of information. So it's all official information, and they're not really leaks. But they could be considered spoilers, so I feel, but man, I just want to scream like, oh my god, I know what all this stuff is, I'm pretty sure I know what's happening, and I'm getting excited because I think I know, I mean, I don't necessarily know, but I'm pretty sure I know, you know? Yes!
Yeah, well, the thing about it is there's so many other things that you see there that look amazing, like the dogfight. Like, I'm so pumped to see these TIE Fighter X-Wing dogfights. Like, you don't even understand. Like, this is, like, everything I want out of Battlefront, I want out of that, and they are apparently giving it to us. Like, two at least major dogfights. One on this nice foresty-looking planet, and another where we believe is Starkiller Base. And they're just gonna be huge and massive, and just, oh my god, like, it's, oh my god. Like, I need a cigarette just thinking about it. But to get past all that, there's a bunch of major other things going along with that, such as the ticket sales as a result of people watching this thing and then immediately trying to get online, or immediately before that trying to get online and buy tickets.
Right. So
understand, they've already made about $7 million in IMAX ticket sales alone.
Yeah, so they haven't even counted the normal ass tickets like the ones we bought.
Yes.
We gave them $100, so like, holy crap.
$105.
Oh, excuse me, the tax. But realize Fandango crashed the hell out. So did other places like the Alamo Drafthouse. What I find amazing is like what the Alamo Drafthouse said. And they wrote like paragraphs upon paragraphs, but to kind
a very large apology letter.
But to kind of summarize, they said, we tried to be ready for this hugely important day, blah-de-blah-de-blah.
They had to transition over to Fandango, because basically what happened was they thought they had gotten their site ready to take on all the traffic.
They had 40 extra servers that they were going to use to handle the traffic. They thought they had built something like way super amazing months ahead of time, and it still wasn't enough.
No.
Like, they knew it was going to be big, and their prep was still not enough.
You're talking about different movie ticket websites reporting anywhere from 3 to 8 times the demand for a movie out of this one movie that hasn't even come out yet. Like, people are purporting this thing is going to break every sort of record that that is even possible, you know, well close, spiraling upwards now up to, like, just below 1 billion instantly, because they will probably break the record on how fast they get there.
I'm sure.
Because, you know, that record diminishes in time every year with every major movie event, but I don't think there's going to be an event nearly as big as this Star Wars movie, because the one thing it's got going for it, like, I'm not trying to make a pun or anything, I honestly believe it, this is our New Hope. This is the one movie where people actually feel, you know, some sense of, you know what, I think they got this one. I think this is the Star Wars movie I'm waiting for. This is the one. And people are feeling excited
Even
again.
the people who were burned by the Phantom Menace, some of them are still, like, a little bit hesitant, but, like, oh, but I really want to get excited this time, you know? It really does something to you.
And it's doing things to a lot of people. So, yeah, we wait here not very patiently until December 17th, where you better believe our butts are going to be in seats.
Exactly.
Or even before that, in line with other Star Wars fans, ready for this amazing movie to come out. The hype is real. The hype awakens.
And I don't get hyped for too many
things.
No,
you don't anymore.
I really don't. I get really upset by things. And yet, I'm so excited. I can't stop being excited. I'm so excited we talked over time.
Slightly.
We have run over time, so we better stop. Let's reel it in. But if you're with us here live right now, stick around with us because we're just going to keep talking about stuff for the next half an hour, and we'll talk with you, and if you have questions, we'll answer those questions. It's always a good time. If you're not live with us right now, come down to be live with us next week. We're always live on Thursday evenings at 9 p.m. Central here at Mars Girl, youtube.marsgirl. No, youtube.com/MarsGirl/live. That's the link.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yes.
But in the meantime, you can always talk to us during the week over on Twitter. I'm at Josh Knight First.
And I'm at MarsGirl.
And that having been said, that's been this week's episode of Beyond the Black Rims. We will see you guys next week.
Good night, everybody.